Tak přátelé, koukneme teda No Rest for the Wicked, což je nový akční RPGčko, bude to hodně artový, jelikož je to od Moon Studios, kteří dělali Oriho, 2 díly poslední. A bylo to vlastně minulý rok, myslím, že na Gamescomu, při Gamescomu, na Game Awards, tak to bylo oznámený. A je to další jako adept na velmi povedenou hru. A mohlo by to být dost cool. Mohlo by to být zase trošku zase jiný přístup k akčním RPGčkám. Tak jsem na to zvědavý. Jdeme na to.
Hey everyone, I'm Thomas.
And I'm Gennady.
We founded Moon Studios during the rise of independent games in 2010.
Back then, there weren't all that many modern Metroidvania games out there, and so we created Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori became a huge success with gamers and critics alike, and it helped spark new interest in the genre.
Our next project was supposed to be something totally different, because for over 20 years we've been playing action RPGs religiously, and we always dreamt of where this genre could be taken next. At the same time, we felt that we could do even more within the Metroidvania genre, and so we embarked on making Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We ultimately shipped another game that was incredibly well received and that we're deeply, deeply proud of.
But we had never forgotten about our dream of creating our own action RPG. We have left our mark on one genre before. Now we hope to do the same for action RPGs.
Our story began 1 year after the Embrace. King Harrow is dead, and he's to be succeeded by his young and untested son Magnus. Meanwhile, rumors of the return of a great plague, known as the Pestilence, are starting to emerge. Magical Celine, a ruthless figure in the church, sees the Pestilence as a chance to prove herself. These forces converge on the backwater of Isola Sacra, where rebel groups and the provincial government fight for control amid the isle's crumbling ruins. As a Sarim, a member of an ancient sect devoted to defeating the Pestilence,
A strašně hezky to. Moon Studios dělají strašně hezky jako vizuální hry to.
En route, your ship comes under attack from a rebel group known as the Risen. The battle leaves the vessel battered and badly damaged. The ship stands little chance as it limps towards the shore, and it is torn apart on the rocks at sea. You find yourself washed up at the shores of Isola Sacra, bruised and unarmed, and end up caught in the midst of both a vast political struggle and a fight for survival.
With no rest for the wicked, we decided to handcraft an entirely seamless world. Nothing in this game is procedurally generated.
Jo, jak to má takovou perspektivu, ne?
Instead of moving across a randomly generated flat plane throughout
to trošku připomíná, když jste hráli Diablo 2, jak jste si mohli zapnout perspektivní mod a ono se to trošku zkosilo. Bylo to takový zvláštní jako pohyblivý efekt.
You'll be well served, always paying attention to your surroundings too.
Takže to trošku vypadá spíš jak survival, že jo? Izometricky. Takový pepek námořník, tyjo, má ty pracky, ne? Práce se setlem, jo? No, oni prostě vezmou asi žánr a udělají si to podle sebe prostě. Udělají to... Je to úplně jako jiný styl.
Every movement you make should feel tactile and be intentional. For that reason,
jako Diablovky, že jo?
To be played using WSD or a controller.
Mnohem víc jako ukecaný příběhový na první pohled.
never make it a sacrament from here.
Instead of going for realism, our goal is always to create games that look like a painting come to life. Our artists spent years meticulously modeling and hand painting all of Isola Sacra.
Je hodně výpravný to.
Traversed through plenty of breathtakingly beautiful environments, lit with natural day and night cycles, immersed in dynamic weather.
Wow. Hustý.
We also engineered a very special way of rendering our top-down world, where you can always see so much further into the distance.
Jo, to je pravda, no. To je pravda, že to...
Our goal was to make everything
Některé diablovky trpí na to, že vlastně nevidíš, co je před tebou, no. Už to vždycky, jak je to pevný, že jo, ta kamera, tak... Mnohem víc hrajou.
And if an object is too thin to walk over it, you might just need to balance your way across.
Jo. Tohle bude fakt super pro lidi, který třeba se mi líbí, jakoby ty... Líbí se jim jako akční RPGčko a nebaví je třeba ten grind. Tohle vypadá, že bude prostě takový jako velmi příjemný, prostě příběhový singleplayer zážitek. A bude si to brát prostě z těch akčních RPGček hodně, ale jde to svojí cestou. Vypadá dost cool.
Combat that's inspired by several different genres from ARPGs to fighting games. In order to overcome an opponent, you need to watch out for telegraphed behaviors and then punish accordingly. Timing, spacing, and weapon weight are incredibly important in Wicked's combat model. In No Rest for the Wicked, every single weapon has its own unique moveset and stats driven by RNG.
To skoro taková ještě jako izometrická soulovka, to.
Using this dagger, I'll have a hard time breaking this enemy's shield. Let's try something different.
Tady.
If you time it just right, you can parry incoming attacks, allowing you to exploit an enemy's opening.
A ty asi nebudeš kosit to stovky mobů za minutu, to.
Gear in No Rest for the Wicked comes in 4 different rarities. White items are common. Unlike in other ARPGs, they're not trash loot. We instead made those the most customizable. Blue items are rare. They offer only positive enchantments. Purple items are cursed. They offer very positive enchantments, but they also come with a cursed enchantment. Gold items are unique. They are specifically handcrafted by our designers and offer unique enchantments. This rare claymore we found has an enchantment that increases my focus gain whenever I deal damage.
Vidíš tu váhu, ne, toho meče, to. A to trošku Darkest Dungeon 2, takový trošku art, lehce. To je takový surový.
You gain focus through combat. It is then used to perform rune attacks. Let's drive off.
Ty detaily jsou taky dobrý, jak z něj teče ta voda, ne? Wow! Jak ho vzal na půl, ne?
But every now and then, you might not even need to use your weapons to get rid of an enemy. Sometimes, all you need is a little push.
Every weapon you'll find
taky trošku jako Torchlight,
has its own bespoke moveset, custom made by our incredible animation department.
Ten boj vypadá strašně zábavně, teda musím říct.
Other animation principles directly inform our combat design. Layered on top of that, enchantments that drastically impact weapon behavior, and our deep rune system. All of this culminates in a weapon system that we feel is extremely fun and engaging and allows every player to create their own style of combat. When it comes to gear like armor, there is a wide range of options, each with their own design and attributes. The weight of such items even affects your movement in combat. For instance, if you opt in for a lighter, faster build, you can quick step out of enemies' way.
Awesome.
Quick steps are fast and don't consume a lot of stamina.
Oni si fakt dali soulovku, jo? Diablovku.
And consume more stamina.
Spojili to dohromady. A to mega zábavně. A práce s tou kamerou je hodně zajímavá, no. To jsou proporce, ty.
Instead of locking you into a character class that you then have to adhere to for the entire playthrough, we want you to have the flexibility and freedom to play as the type of character you want to, and even come up with character classes we haven't even thought of.
So far, we've shown what combat looks like with a more
Nox? Tyjo, já miluju Nox. Já jsem se nahrál Noxu, tyjo, několikrát jsem to projel. A streamoval jsem ho tady několikrát. Nox mám strašně rád, no. On vyšel asi měsíc před Diablem. Mám furt krabici za mnou, že jo. Nox byl skvělej, Nox byl fakt dobrý. A dobře se to hraje i dneska.
When used right, Nova can be an absolute blast.
The uniqueness of each item you find or craft, being able to create any character build you can think of throughout.
Mě zajímá, jestli tohle bude mít i koop, nebo to bude fakt čistě singlová záležitost. Že tohleto v koopu by mohlo být třeba ve dvou, maximálně ve dvou. By mohla být jako strašná sranda, to. Třeba jako duely, víš, jako mezi sebou, ale nemyslím si, no. Divil bych se to. Ani mouťákový hry nedělá, no. Bossové. Jo, je to docela jako gory teda. Má takový Little Nightmares trošku feel. Ten déšť, jak z jejich chčije ta voda, vidíte to?
Our best course of action is to study his moves and attack whenever we see an opening.
Práce s kamerou je hodně hustá, teda musím říct.
Bosses are also quite brutal in No Rest for the Wicked. They will punish every mistake you will make. But keep a cool head, make use of all of the skills you've learned, and you just might succeed. As you can see, No Rest for the Wicked is an intensely skill-based game. Your gear greatly influences your power in battle, but whether you die or overcome the challenge is ultimately down to your skill.
What? Wow. Izometrický Elden Ring.
Along your journey, you will come across the town of Sacrament, the capital of Isola Sacra. Sacrament is a war-torn place, but over the course of your journey, you can help rebuild Sacrament to its former glory.
Oh, ignore their gates, Sarim. They likely never seen one of your kind.
In order to demonstrate that, we'll switch to a realm that's already a little more advanced. Our goal is to make Sacrament as interesting and interactive as possible.
Read about it, Mary Weather. Taylor's at your service. Mary, we agreed. Mine and goes first.
Don't pretend you don't smell it. Come have a taste.
And players will be in control over how Sacrament will evolve over time. For example, after my previous expedition, I helped Fillmore rebuild his smithy. He now sells better gear and is also able to upgrade our gear to a higher level. To that effect, we aim to make investing resources into Sacrament as satisfying and rewarding as investing resources into your character is. Let's take a look at another way you can make Sacrament your own.
In Sacrament, you'll be able to purchase real estate.
No.
Well, if you have the funds to afford it.
The city's gone to shit.
Property in Sacrament can get a little bit expensive, but accumulate the riches and you can choose from a wide range of properties to suit anyone's taste. Your house is the perfect place to stash your loot, craft items, relax, and plan everything out for your next big run through the dangerous areas surrounding Sacrament.
Neříkej, že ono to bude i roguelite trošku.
So it's a little bit barren. Let's fix that. Out on your journey, you'll be able to collect or harvest valuable resources, which then can be used to craft new gear, furniture for your home, or even make improvements to the town itself.
Okay.
Catch a fish, for example, and it can be cooked and eaten, of course. But certain fish scales might even make for some fine armor.
While I was on the shores of Sacra, I collected some pine wood. So now, let's make use of that and make this place a little bit more cozy.
Ty animace, to. Tak jako housing system jsem v tom nečekal, teda.
No rest for the wicked. Since you're not constrained to a grid, you can come up with some really organic looking designs. The table looks nice, but it's missing something. It's much better. While some items you can place in your house are just cosmetic, our goal is for most of them to be functional and have a gameplay purpose. With a range of properties to purchase and an incredibly flexible interior design system, we hope players will be able to find and design a unique place for them to call home.
Okay. Tak se vám to líbí, zatím. Endgame. Tak, pojďme hop.
One last thing we'd like to show you today is a system we call Alive. Although No Rest for the Wicked features a traditional campaign, it was important to us that the Solar Sacra is very much a living, breathing world. In order to show you what that means, we're going to go to an area called Mariner's Keep. This is an area I've previously ventured through and explored. However, since my last journey through here, Nif have overrun the local area, presenting entirely new threats for me to tackle and resources for me to scavenge. The world of No Rest for the Wicked is constantly changing around you. And each time you visit a region, you'll be faced with a drastically different experience.
What the? Nasraný strom, to.
And No Rest for the Wicked.
Boy.
You never really know what to expect. For those of you who asked about Endgame, yes, we've got you covered. While we don't want to give away too much at this point, once you reach the endgame, you can enter the Serum Crucible. This is where you'll have to test your mettle against some of the toughest enemies within No Rest for the Wicked.
Our goal is and always has been to create a very different action RPG, one that will hopefully move the genre forward. We believe that Moon Studios is in an incredibly unique position to deliver on this vision. We have some of the best talent in the world united behind this, and we're not afraid to take the risks that need to be taken in order to change up the status quo.
We've poured an incredible amount of
To je
blood,
tak
sweat,
strašně
tears,
důležitá věta.
and now we're
Co
at a
ten řekl?
point where we need your help to shape and build Wicked into the best game it can possibly be.
Therefore, we'd like to invite all of you who love this genre, who grew up with it the same way we did, and who are excited to see a new take on it, to join us on this journey. And so we're happy to announce that we're going to be launching No Rest for the Wicked after all of these years into Steam Early Access next month on April 18th.
Over the
Duben,
course of early access,
18,
we
máme co hrát.
and
Ej!
balancing the game with your input. And you will also see major content updates.
Hej, oni budou mít fakt mulťák.
when they're released.
Oni fakt budou mít mulťák,
Plans to
nekecej.
release on consoles as well.
Wicked has been built from the ground up with multiplayer in mind. So the first of these major updates that we will be releasing in early access will be providing you with an innovative multiplayer experience, allowing you to play Wicked alongside or even against.
Arena ne, to bude no to je na duely úplně ideál.
Content update will bring all new
Bude úplně
regions,
super ty na ty duely.
enemies, narrative updates, and
S tím
so much
kombatem, jak to mají udělaný.
story, system, and gameplay content updates to follow thereafter.
Your support and feedback during this very critical part of early access really does make a
No
difference.
Rest for the Wicked,
No
přátelé.
Rest for the Wicked begins a new era for Moon Studios, and we're committed to this project for the long run.
We're incredibly excited about what will be in No Rest for the Wicked already in day one of early access. And we can't wait to show you all the stuff that will follow in the months to come. Once the showcase is over, be sure to tune in to your favorite media and content creators for the hands-on impressions of No Rest for the Wicked immediately following this showcase.
We can't wait to see you all on April 18th.
No, přátelé, to je hustý. Mně se to líbí. On tam právě řekl strašně důležitou větu, že se nebojí riskovat a narušovat to status quo v tom žánru, který prostě v určitých ohledech může působit dost kostnatěle. Což jako ruku na srdce Diablovky jako jak úplně extrémně velkou jako evoluci za posledních 20 let neměli. Tohle vypadá jako dost jako zábavně, no. Takže 18. dubna, přátelé. 18. dubna. To je hustý. To je hustý. No, to bude cool. To bude mega dobrý. Takže takhle, přátelé, No Rest for the Wicked od autorů Oriho. A 18. dubna Early Access. Je to cool. Já mám normálně chutím normálně napsat. Jestli bych se k tomu nemohl dostat dřív. No, jsou dropy by the way. Hezký. Zizara, no, je tam i Force a podobně. Gotalion koukám. No, přátelé, takže tak ono. Ziz. Takhle. To je hustý. Mazec.